Good morning, church. This is devotional. Uh, Today we'll be in First Samuel chapter 4, and in First Samuel chapter 4, we see that the Israelites are going to war with the Philistines. Now, the Philistines were like a thorn in the flesh to the Israelites. These Philistines were good at making weapons, and they would make the highest grade weapons available at that time. Now, during the time of Abraham and Isaac, we see that these Philistines were living at peace with the Israelites, and we see that in Genesis 20 and 26. But here we see that the Philistines are at war with the Israelites. Now, here in 1 Samuel chapter 4, we see a picture of the Israelites not consulting God and going on their own strength into battle. And what is the result? The result is that they lose the battle, and that we see that 4,000 men were slain, and there's mourning in the camp. The mothers are mourning for their sons, the wives are mourning for their husbands, and there's a huge cry in the camp. And this is what is a picture of us Christians. We, you know, we don't see things and we don't take things to God in prayer, and this is the result why we lose many of our battles. And here we see that Israel, they are not used to losing a battle. They have lost one battle here. They have lost a battle in Joshua chapter 7 at Ai, and that is because there was sin in the camp. They have lost a battle against the Moabites in Judges chapter 3, and that is because of the people's pride and because of them doing everything that was good in their own eyes. And in these battles that Israel lost, we see that they fail to acknowledge God and and seek His will or His direction in their life. You remember the story of Abraham, and when God had given him a promise about his son Isaac, Abraham and Sarah failed to uh, seek and obey God's direction. And what was the result? Bore Abraham bore a child with Hagar, and we all know the result, that there was trouble between Abraham's family and Hagar's family for the rest of till today. There is a battle going on. So here we see in this chapter that the people are trying to get ahead of God, do their own thing, not seek God's will. And the result is that this disobedience of the people brings destruction on the whole camp. Now, we see in Isaiah chapter 55, verse 6, it says, "Seek the Lord while he may be found, call upon him while he is near." See, if we are willing to trust God, he becomes a guide to all of us. Sometimes in our battles, we go to foreign lands where we need, the Lord to be a guide. And does a guide do? A guide leads us. He gives us security in a strange place. He, explains the past, present, future. He takes everything into account. And here, you know, the Lord has, you know, is available so that He can do great things in our lives. In closing, I want to quote Psalm 32, verse 8. It says, "I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go." So, wherever we are today and whatever we are doing, don't fail ever to seek the Lord. If you read the continuation of this chapter, we see that for a second time, they do not seek the Lord, and what they do is they take the Ark of the Covenant and bring it into the camp and take it again into battle. And we see that the Ark of the Covenant is taken from there. Because whose idea was it? It was the priests at that time. Hophni and Phinehas. It was their idea, and they were already in sin. So they did not know what the Lord required of them. And because of their sin, they could not see the direction of God, and they lost the battle again. And the Ark of the Covenant, for the very first time, was taken away from them. And there was all sadness in the camp. So remember, no matter how hard your situation is, do not fail to seek the Lord in all that you do. We heard last Sunday, in the closing remarks of our service, that do not fail to, get up early and seek the Lord and, cultivate good spiritual habits. And that will take you a long way. So this is a devotion for today. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.